Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about North American roster moves, North American rosters in general. Should they make moves? Should they not? On the Boston Major, day 3, pre-show, they decided to do yay or nays for should these teams make roster moves. And hold on, let me get it up. There we go. So have it ready. So we're going to talk about should teams do it, yes or no. We'll go through most of the teams. I think pretty much if you're below 5, you're probably going to want to make a roster move, but there's a couple outliers in there. Like, comment, subscribe. I think that's what the professional YouTubers say. So let's get right into it. All right. So again, day 3, this is before also V1 was eliminated from Worlds. So keep that in mind, but let's get right into it.
Of course.
And we
chat,
can
you can get involved in.
and we can get the chat involved.
All right, here we go. Yay or nay? Let's start it off. Should G2 make a move? We have 3 nays on the desk, 1 yay. And honestly, sometimes when you're at a major and you're on the desk, you don't want to call people out, right? Or you don't want to be too mean. I'm going to be a little bit mean here. Should G2 make a move? Absolutely. Have we not watched for the past year what has happened with NRG? When you regress, it's nearly impossible to come back to the top. G2 has regressed. They made, what, 1 grand final, I think, this entire split or this entire season. They are not really in contention to win anything, it feels like right now. And I even said on the Spring Invitational that they're just mid. They're a mediocre team right now. They're like top 5 gatekeepers, roughly, maybe a little bit better than that, maybe top 4 at times. But they have regressed since the grand finals of the World Championship last time around. You got to make a move. Again, we've seen what happened with NRG. It did not work trying to rebuild without changing out a member on that roster. Who knows what that actually looks like? I could see Atomic leaving. I could see a JNAPS or Chicago getting replaced. It really just depends on what the team chemistry is like. But I think something's got to change. Like, if they want to win again, something's got to change. Now, again, or contracts and all that plays into it, buyouts and, whatever. So we'll see. You can't always make the move you want, but G2, should they make a move? Subi's the only one correct on this desk for sure. Let's move on.
Subi?
What? What? Why? I mean, it's just they've been on the precipice of failing for so long that it's time to make a move. I don't know who.
Subi's very smart. Very smart.
Hey,
Let's talk about
Yay! And as well, Twitch chat, 2/3 of the vote. Very, very, very smart as well.
fade. Everybody in 3, 2, 1.
All right. People are being too nice. People are being too nice. Now, FaZe is one of the few teams, I think, in NA right now that could win the World Championship. I think they're an outside shot, a small percentage chance. But when they go to international lands, generally, they play very well against European teams, so I could see it. But we're talking about First Killer here. First Killer makes moves all the time. But even if they finish top 4 at Worlds, he's like, yo, I'm going to make a move. He does not care. They didn't even make it to the Boston Major. You don't think First Killer's going to make a move after that? Come on. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the dedication of the FaZe squad with the hours being put into Rocket League not being very high. So that's going to play a factor too. It just seems like the drive isn't there. But First Killer is either going to make a move or he's going to finally abandon the FaZe Clan team and his own team, what he's been trying to build for so long, and join a different team. We'll look at V1. That's a possibility, right? Daniel Beast Mode, who knows? But First Killer is either going to make a move or he's going to leave. It's going to be one of the two. He's a top talent in NA. I think the best player in North America still. And teams are going to want him. They're going to want him badly. Yeah, I don't see FaZe not making a move. Well, unless they win the World Championship. Even if they win the World Championship, I still think it will not be the same roster. Do not think it'll happen. Moving on. Everyone's saying no.
they definitely complement.
Yay
each
or
other.
nay? All right. Twitch, again, you're on my side. Yay there. NA, come on. We need an implosion. We need brand new squads across the board.
Chaos, dude.
I make a move. 3, 2, 1.
So teammate's not voting because he says no, it's his favorite team, yada, yada, yada. So this was before V1 did not make the World Championship. You're literally not at the world. So I'll give them that, at least for the nays there. But you're not at the World Championship. A move's going to happen. Do you not remember when Rise was trying to come over? Who did they try and kick? They tried to kick Com. You don't think V1's going to try that again at some point? Come on now. Come on. You didn't even make the World Championship. Didn't make it to the Boston Major. Com's gone. Like, unless the whole roster gets imploded, because V1, there's talks about, like, the org might not want to be in esports, or there's a merger, yada, yada. Like, outside of those factors, because who knows what happens with orgs, right? Daniel Beast Mode are going to try and find a third that complements them, I would assume. Is that first killer? Who knows? It could be an Atomic. It could be like a Nolly. Who knows? But they tried it with Com. They also tried to kick Com in winter. He was obviously going to be the one on the block if something went wrong. And V1 is definitely going to make a move. Definitely. Come on. Like, I would be shocked if it's the same team. And I'm not trying to badmouth Com. Like, I think Com can make teams work, and he's a very talented player. Again, like any player I say that is probably getting kicked, I still think they're a world-class player, and they are very talented. But the writing's on the wall. Moving on.
They just want to regional. Just give them a little bit more time.
Just because you
more
got
time.
great,
They're
flashy
not
players on the
worlds.
team.
All right, nays.
I mean, okay, so
I was in favor of it.
So again, Twitch chat saying no because they think V1's going to be at Worlds. They think V1's going to win Worlds. They're obviously not there. So, oh well.
Standard. That's
Moving on.
That makes a move. 3, 2, 1.
All right, all four saying no on the space station. Should they make a move? Space station's an odd one, I think, because it's kind of a brand new team in the spring split. But they were the number one seed in North America, which is great, but they only made one grand final. They still have a long history of not winning anything for, 2 years now? If Space Station wants to be considered one of the world's best, they have to make a move. If they're happy with just trying to get top fives and doing all that, then I can see them not making a move. But so if everyone else in North America is making moves, they're obviously going to catch up. And I don't think Space Station is your best team in NA. They were the number one seed. I don't think anyone actually believed that Space Station was the best team in North America, even though they were the number one seed. It was the weakest number one seed in the history of RLCS. But again, that's not saying that they're bad. They were very consistent in what they did. But are they world championship contenders? I would say no. Like, I think if they make a move, I think like Arsenal's the one probably to get the boot. I think they build around LJ and Hoxer, a kind of like, not necessarily new talent in NA, but new faces at least that we haven't seen at the top of NA. And we see what they try and build there. That would be my guess. But obviously they've talked about like the cohesion on the team is so great. And I think Arsenal brings a ton of intangibles as well to a LAN atmosphere that really, really does help him. But I think if they want any chance to be like a world championship contender, I think that's the replacement you do. I still don't think they would get there because I don't know if they would get the like peak talent necessarily, but I still think probably they make a move. I wouldn't be like appalled if they didn't make a move. This is probably one of the few teams where I'm like, all right, if you want to stay together and try at least in the fall, I could see it, right? But yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
they looked in.
I think that numbers.
They can't Arsenal last moving forward. You know what
So
I mean?
nay for it was about 80% there for Twitch chat. So they don't think Space Station should make a move. And I could see it, but again, if you want to win, you're probably going to need all of North America to implode.
He realizes
Just experience out there on the field.
Oh, okay. And that's it for them on the roster moves. Let's go back to the full cam here. So the other rosters that I want to talk about would be Gen G. I think Gen G is in a unique spot where they've kind of regressed since fall. But I think spring wasn't terrible for them. Spring major, at least. But they almost missed it. Them, I could see it going either way as well. I think they're kind of on the line with Space Station. I think if they did make a move, and if it was 2/3 of that roster was around, which again, there's really no reason to have 2/3 of your roster going into a new season, at least as of now, because there's no rules against, like, you know, just completely abandoning a team. But I could see either, like, apparently Jack leaving to join one of these other teams that are made in a North America. Or I could see them replacing Nolly. Because I think Nolly, while being a very talented player, very smart player, I think he has a lot of matches where it seems like he's trying to do maybe a little bit too much and gets lost on the field. So when he's on, he's their X factor, right? But when he's off, then Gen.G looks like, a middle-in team. And middle-in, I mean, still like top 8 in the world, but not fighting to win another major or a world championship. So I think if there was a move to be made, I think it would be Nolly. I think an Atomic on that squad would be a great replacement for a Nolly, who's still like going to feed plays and is a pretty good team player. Because I think that's the hard part with Gen.G. They're very team-focused, so you have to find certain players around that. I don't think like a first killer necessarily would fit on that squad, but it could work. Obviously, like first killer is a great talent, so he could probably be molded into whatever they need. But I think if you're looking just on paper, I could see like an Atomic would make that squad of Gen.G even better. But again, who knows? Who knows if these players are leaving or whatever. The other roster that I wanted to talk about is, well, I guess Furia first. Fury is hard. They didn't make the world championship, but again, there's the language barrier. Like, what do they want to do? So I could see them staying together, but at the same time, like if there was a move, like maybe like a Mata for card, maybe, I don't know. And then complexity as well. I think language barrier and all that. I think like if they wanted to make a move, and I don't think they necessarily need to. I think they would still be top 5 in NA through the North America like implosion because they've been so consistently good. But if there's a move to make, I think it would be AJG being replaced, just because he again is very similar to Nolly in terms of when complexity is on, and I think they're one of the best teams in North America. AJG is popping off, but there are a lot of times when AJG isn't at his best, and I don't even mean that one shot at the Boston Major. There are times when he just doesn't look like, he looks like the worst on the field. And again, that's with 5 other world-class players. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I think they could improve on that spot. So if Complexity wanted to make a move, I think it would probably be AJG. And again, no hard feelings to any of these players. Like I think a Nolly could honestly work incredibly well on like a space station, right? Where you have him come in to help LJ and Hoxer, and I think that could be a very, very good team. So, like, there are spots for these players, but I just don't... Like, if these teams want to improve, and I feel like every team in North America should absolutely be trying to improve, because right now, it's Europe with their big French 3, and then everyone else. And if you want to catch up to them, very likely you're going to have to make some bold roster moves. Could we see some of those French 3 like a comeback down to the field because teams just regress over time? It's possible. But I think they have too much catching up to do, and I think the roster moves need to happen. That's it for this video. Just wanted to talk over North America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on like what roster moves should happen. Should some teams just not make them and try and power through it? But let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for the continued support on this YouTube channel. We're trying to bring it back from death, basically. I'm going to try and do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whenever there's something to talk about. And I thought, North America, why not? There's something to talk about there. So, once again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.